50,000 people used to live here.
Now, it's approximately 300 concurrent players.
Lads? Lads? You can come out now. Where are you? Seriously, I'm trying to get the golden camo, man. Call of Duty, the 4th one. I'm not sure why I'm holding a box for the PC version. I'm playing this on Steam. But it's one of my favorite games. Ever. Gone are the days returning from a hard day's algebra to label X amount of adults, Y amount of slurs, but the game itself never quite went away for me. I replayed the campaign a couple of times.
Stay quiet. Stay very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
I corrupted the Wii version and I've played the multiplayer on occasion, on and off, ever since. COD4 itself isn't necessarily dead, despite almost being the age of consent at this point, and a billion entries in the past. But what's left in the wake is a plethora of strange, mostly abandoned servers running on fan-made clients across unofficial maps, using a wide assortment of gameplay tweaking mods. So let's click on a few. My nostalgic pubic pilgrimage began with a match of gun game. A mode that wasn't officially included with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, but was officially included in Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, which isn't a remaster of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You can't make this shit up. It became a staple within the series since the OG Black Ops. And in case you live under an obese stone, the premise of this game type is that you shoot people with gun. You level up and receive a different gun. The winner is the one that first reaches the final gun, which is usually actually a knife. The match itself wasn't all that eventful. I was pitted against a couple of bots, bot 17 and bot 16. Not sure where the other 15 went. Dragon Ball Z Android naming type beat. Things started off slow, which is code word for I got absolutely eviscerated. We're talking multiple quickscope deaths. We're talking point blank grenade launcher. We're talking kill cam, where the bot was buckshotting the corner of a wall because I dared to show an iota of leg. If we take a moment to analyse the player models within the server, we'll swiftly find out that the bots are members of the Spetsnaz,
Armed Forces Supreme Military Complex.
and I'm Bloke with casual plain white t-shirt and jeans. These boys are kitted out for a full-scale war, and I'm prepared for an XL Grande caramel twatticino down the cafe. No wonder I was struggling, man. I did eventually find my feet below my legs. Got a few double kills, even bagged myself a
Killing spree.
and a
Rampage.
bot 16 won anyway. Woo. Something I did notice was that these weren't the regular COD4 weapons that I was cycling through. The arsenal varied in origin. Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and the popular 4th entry in the series, Far Cry 4. What are you doing here? And while I think it's rather gargantuan to retroactively add more recent weps back into COD4, what really had me interested here was the map. MP_Poolparty. As someone that's attempted to make a couple of maps in CSGO to varying success. What happens if you run the map? I genuinely find myself appreciating this stuff a lot more than I once did. An office area with a meeting table and a laptop. Changing rooms with sinks that are suspiciously piss height efficient. Dick height optimal. Picturesque shrubbery surrounds the arena and pokes through the wall. Map ruined. Aesthetically speaking, you get what's on the tin. There's a pool. The layout is small, simple, and symmetrical. Triple S, baby. It's easy to see why it'd be a quick choice for casual free-for-all matches. That simplicity is exactly what had me thinking. Perhaps there's more to this level. What can I say? I took one look at this pool and I just had to take a deep dive. Well, as it turns out, I'm an uncultured swine, because this was a reimagining of a beloved community Counter-Strike map. The entire time. And I really do mean beloved. YouTube uploads dating back to the year of our Lord and Saviour 144p are flooded with comments expressing blissful nostalgia, creative inspiration, existential breakdowns, and deep philosophy. Actually, life still is simple. It's we who make it complicated. Nostalgia 3. There are not only still matches on this map in CS 1.6, but pool-only servers to this day. And after playing a handful of matches,
Prepare to fight.
I get it. It's fun. There are a couple of different iterations, but they essentially provide the same sort of experience. A version was planned for a CSGO operation and got canned. Fortnite Battle Royale. Ant Bomb. And eventually, in the summer of 2024, a remake was officially added into the arms race mode of Counter-Strike 2. Oh, the no-scope. Oh! There's an Easter egg in the official port that once interacted with. Yeah. People love this map. With all of this widespread influence, I wonder what other creations this squall was responsible for. Maybe the accompanying text file will provide some much-needed context. You're inside a cat's butthole. Fight. Look, perhaps the sound files will give us some lore that we can stretch out into a 5-hour video essay. As I'm gazing into the ominous flashing light of a C4 explosive, I'm left thinking, what is of my life? Yeah, it's a pitch-black gaping voidscape that requires night vision to navigate. Much like the actual feline Tuckus experience, I imagine. Though, it's not fair to chalk this guy off for his shitposts, because Pool, its variants, and remakes are all rightly adored, and his catalogue is filled with other pretty cool maps as well. I've never heard of these weapons before. Let's return, shall we, to the correct game. I went off on quite the tangent there, but can you blame me? The first Call of Duty match I jumped into for a while was on a map originally made for Counter-Strike, with guns from Far Cry and sound effects from Unreal Tournament. Just a quick PSA. Be careful traversing ancient relic Call of Duty servers. That's it, really. I'm not gonna fearmonger and tell you that Sylvester from dodgy Slovakia is gonna wear your skin as a hat. It's just that some of the older, unsupported games do make it easier for hackers to try and snatch files, IP addresses, your virginity, whatever. Just Google what you're playing in advance and do a bit of research, basically. Right. As soon as the server loaded, I was staring down the barrel of peak graphic design. A countdown with rescaling blur strong enough to fool me into thinking I was in the middle of an optician appointment, and a little spinning cube with K3 plastered all over it. We'll solve that equation shortly. First, there's a map to overanalyze. Not really. I'm just smegging your leg. BUBBA isn't a scary prison inmate. It's a free-for-all playground similar to the COD4 DLC map, Kill House, wearing novelty evil twin mustache and glasses. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. Kill House has been one of my fave maps since I was a testicular tadpole, but they do both be a similar size and include almost identical, symmetrical buildings with stairs that lead to the roofs, so I felt the comparison was appropriate. The differences come with the placement of the obstacles and cover in between. Placed in the center of Kill House resides a watchtower, about as useful as cheese grater toilet paper. BUBBA had a shipping container hanging in the middle that I could get on top of or inside of, with some verticality around the edges of the map that lead towards it, rather than a singular, lengthy ladder crafted from pure please kick meum. There's a snug little outside area in BUBBA too, but apparently not outside enough. Oh, I jumped out the map. Okay. I'm out of here. That's about it for the map itself. The creators of this one are called Bree, Duck, and Booba. The weapons were seemingly the norm, other than a couple of minuscule changes. Red Dot Sight got a facelift. Ooh.
The W1200 appears to be sporting some sort of green skin not originally included in the fourth entry to the Call of Duty franchise.
Different scope. Different sound. But with the differences being so small, why even feel compelled to yap about this one? Well, they may have took some liberties with the perks and grenades. Anthrax! Yeah, so K3 is the name of the mod that was running in this server, which explains the cube and the dripped out hand attire. K3 presumably being a shortened form of the creator's name, Kill 3R. I'm not sure who 3R is, but by now they're probably no longer with us. Proxy grenade. What? I was a smidge confused. I hadn't seen anything quite like it in COD4. And this little nade with limbs just sat there until I popped it. I imagine it's supposed to be thrown directly at the enemy. My bewilderment wasn't exactly helped by the fact that it looked like a 90s bumbleball toy thingy-majingy.
Tossing stun grenade!
EMP grenades disable electricals, including the aforementioned proxy nades.
I think they improved the Slenderman mechanics.
From afar, it's got this staticky cloud particle effect, which I thought was pretty neat. Freeze grenade. No, I'm not arresting an explosive. This one had a cool effect. It's a stun grenade with sprinkles, alright? The fabled anthrax grenade. This one erupted into a Vimtor-flavored fart cloud, poisoning anyone within its fumes, as evidenced by the kill feed messages. You poisoned yourself. EMP grenades are useful for testing out the different grenades involved continuously ending my life by switching teams. That isn't an edit in the video, that was just in the server. Dark matter cannon. Dark matter cannon. Yeah, I love an extensive description.
Lieutenant, hand me the portable cannon that utilizes unobservable energy. I need it ribbed for your pleasure. With Valve missing game textures. Stat. Sarge? It's 2007.
From what I gather, it charges up at a snail's pace and then blasts a straight-lined beam that lingers in the air. I've got a pretty good description for this. Aldi Spartan Laser. Fellas, I switched it to third person and it looks like I'm wearing a giant cotton bud. Watch out, boys. I'm a future gladiators contestant. Heat Seeker. Well, I didn't have any heat to seek, so I was left with a regular propelled grenade. Let's see if I had any more luck with the laser guided. Zoom in and zoom out's not working. Whoa, 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 what? Where'd that go? It seemed to have some sort of weird, flaccid, arc-shaped pathing. Some PUBG bullet drop looking shit. But I think what's actually happening here is that the missile is supposed to be following my reticle. It also came pre-packaged with fuel and distance meters, you know, in case you want to go on a road trip in the middle of a military conflict. T is the 20th letter in the alphabet and makes up one of the consonants. It's a teleporter pad that you can place for you and your team. Works almost identically to the teleporter in F2, auto turret. Came attached with protruding rods that look like they slipped out of Homer Simpson's tongues and did exactly what I expected. Nothing. Because I was playing with myself. I'm not certain whether they'd be effective or not, but they seem to be put together with paper mache. Hacker. I barely even know her. Hack enemy devices onto your side. There were no enemies to hack. However, to presumably cheer me up from my crippling loneliness, I was provided with a small image of a man sat at his computer having a staring contest with a gradient.
Babe, it's 4 AM. What are you doing? Are you hacking again?
Looking into the K3 mod after the fact, there seems to be lots of silly little doodads and features that I didn't spot in that one isolated match. Time bubble? What the fuck's this? It's not even in the weapons or grenades. This is just... It's in the chat box. It's in the quick message menu. Oh, I tried to slow it down. The laser mine was the one perk I think I missed. It just went to show to me that modded weapons weren't restricted to being derivative of pre-existing ones within the series, or even other video games. That's not what I meant. As for Killer, it seems like they called it quits on modding fairly recently, but play matches with the community they built around the mods through Discord occasionally. That's about it for this one. Time to head back to the menu. Ugh. New menu jump scare. 3! Thanks. Fun fact that I haven't mentioned yet. A few of these mods like to leave behind a memento in the form of a custom menu to greet you after your departure from a server. These range far and wide and extend even to matches that I couldn't load into at all. So, enjoy this montage. Okay. That's nothing then. Oh my god. It's not even the right game. Hardstyle full. Pack your bags, alright? Pick a different genre of music. That's also the wrong game. Modern Warfare 4? I thought Soap was dead. What's he doing here? Zombies. Ooh. But look, they've like added custom buttons. That's pretty cool. What's an Iron Maiden album cover doing here? Nice little zombie sketch. I think I've seen this in another game, you know. Watch out, soldier. The zombies have evolved into puddles of water and minced beef. Hunk? Who's this guy? Stick him up. Put the brains in the bag. This team's agitated. You don't want to kick with them.
Extreme sniper only.
I mean, she's not that extreme. She's just an anime girl with a Barrett.
RS.
FaZe Clan redesigned the RuneScape logo.
Remember. Stay frosty.
Finally, time to move on to the next.
One more thing.
So I was trying to record some standard issue footage of Kill House earlier, and when I joined, there were some strange occurrences. First off, this isn't the normal map, as you can probably see. This is a fan-made variant called Kill House 2. And as tempting as it is to ramble about another map, that wasn't the problem. This was. Oh! It's broke! Oh no! Has it done it for the whole game? It might have, you know. What the fuck has it done? Yeah, it seems that even when I'm not in the pursuit of corruptions, the corruptions are in the pursuit of me. What language? This isn't real, is it? Is this a real language? I'm sure this alphabet soup that looks like Digimon wall runes is a real language. I have no clue what caused this, but it affected absolutely every piece of text imaginable. That's supposed to be the in-game chat. How am I supposed to communicate with this? Yeah, it's broken my font, look. That's the console. Oh yeah, I leveled up. What rank am I now? Commander. This wasn't supposed to be a corruption video. What the fuck have I done? I wonder if it's like that forever. The timer. Yeah, that. Okay. Bracket. Divided by 4. Well, at least the word new survived. UK. Oh, it is Kill House 2. You can go upstairs. Oh, that's cool. Ow. Probably also worth mentioning that I did get into a seemingly normal Kill House match until I died, and then the entire server decided to congregate into the middle of the map for a group hug. I don't know if I just took part in a cult initiation ritual, but this lasted the entire match. Intel. But there is no intel. I guess it's classified. When I first invaded the server, I was expecting it to be some sort of cooperative zombies-esque mode. There's a few attempts to recreate that experience, despite COD4 preceding the official one. But when I landed, I was graced with good old team deathmatch, packed to the brim with bots, blessed with out-of-this-world sound design. Within a tiddlywink of picking a class, I was screamed at with, "Do not leave the server! Everything is being unlocked!" Was that a threat? Before I could even think about leaving. Xenomorphs! Oh shit! Oh, amazing! I spent a little bit of time allowing the soundscape to sink in. And I found out if you pop a xenomorph in the head, they burst into Nickelodeon slime. That's it. That's the match. Yeah, I joined right at the end, so I yearned for a bit more info on this mod. The second match on a demake of Drone from Blops 2 began. Really put myself into the shoes of an extraterrestrial here. I watched myself get blown into absolute smithereens, swum some sick backstrokes in the sky, tripped over a grenade, and then... Oh! 56! That's right, you've been lied to. We've all been lied to. As you may know, the highest ranking bog standard vanilla Call of Duty 4 before Prestige is level 55. But not here. Not in Aliens, which has 100 levels with some unlocks that come with it.
Should have gone to Specsavers.
But of course, I'm just hopping from server to server and don't really have time to grind in an abandoned, bot-populated wasteland. So let's discuss the aliens mod. 2 teams face off. Humans versus James Cameron's Alien, with the option to betray your team. It's just the switch teams option. It's not that exciting. One thing that did set itself apart from the familiar team deathmatch is the gravity. There isn't a lot of it. This, of course, allowing you to reach great heights and greater falls. Not that enemies need to clip you out the sky anyway, because you might just drop down with enough momentum to phase into the underworld. Stay in the map? Yeah, cheers. I would if I could, Hindsight Harold. Naturally, this means you can give the opponent the same treatment, which I may have taken advantage of occasionally. I forgot I was playing Call of Duty for a moment. I was out here thinking I was playing Duck Hunt or something. When you're in midair, you're basically bent over and ready for a soap dropping sesh. But I did still manage to use the trampolined jump for some height advantage. The most interesting way to make use of this accessible airspace isn't giving some bloke a laser lobotomy or taking a nap under inappropriate circumstances. No, it's the fact that you can land yourself into uncharted areas. This adds a cheeky little extra verticality to familiar maps, allowing for some rather devious kills and sightlines. This of course means bots and other players can do this too. Get down from there, you cheeky sod. Maneuvering across rooftops usually closed off to the player had me reminiscing, man. The good times. Back in my day. When a group of polar opposite lads that wouldn't be seen dead together in class finished up their school day, went home and booted up the 360 to formulate an alliance, to practice trick shots together as we followed the sacred scrolls of Call of Duty 4 Showdown bouncers. Earthlings had the standard array of COD4 weaponry. It's all identical, including the noob tube. Oh. The sentient space slugs had a couple of interesting additions. For starters, the laser gun, which you've already seen and heard, the model of which seems to be the M4 carbine, with a couple of additions that are usually exclusive to the single-player campaign. The reflex sight. Oh, I think they've seen me! And the unpecked Second Amendment laser attachment. There's something missing here, gentlemen. From the laser gun that fires lasers and has complementary laser sound effects. I can't quite put my finger on it. Sir? You're a goddamn genius. And, well, actually, I think it might just be the M4. Going by the fact that this thing fires with laser accuracy. Hipfire, ADS, doesn't matter. It's pinpoint. To its credit, they did add a cute little blue muzzle flash. What we haven't seen yet is the silenced variant. There's not a lot to say here, it just sounds like it finally reached puberty. Oh my god, what's this bad boy? That bad boy is the laser sniper. Lean, green, spamming machine. Can you tell that it's semi-automatic? It's semi-automatic. Close range, you're dead. Mid-range, you're dead. Long distance, it's a sniper rifle. In the sky? Oh, perhaps you're in the air yourself. Not a problem. Or hopping towards the opposition like a frog? You get the point. The creators here made the brave decision to not restrict the player with silly things like distance, or recoil, or any period of time between firing shots. Oh. Either way, this was the absolute go-to during my time in this server, on account of it decimating anything instantly within a continent's range. My theory is that this Snipersaurus Rex was added in an attempt to balance out whatever the hell the bots are doing. London style, flesh-piercing jutsu. There's honestly nothing different about the knife. I just wanted to point out the absurdity of xenomorphs wielding them. Oh, you really went for it. It's not something I thought I'd ever see in any sort of capacity in my life. Fortnite Battle Royale. Then again, didn't think I'd see them pulling off drop shot no scopes either. At first glance, perks appeared to be the standard affair. Take the Claymore, for example. It's the Claymore. You know the deal. On Team ET, however, hologram, and surely enough, it appears to produce a holographic diversion of an alien squatting for a shite. I got almost zero use out of this alteration outside of mild amusement. Here's a clip where I placed one down and got shot at anyway, because even the bots were programmed with more common sense than to fall for that. Ultimate Last Stand is an upgrade for the Last Stand perk. You know, the one where you usually fall onto the ground pre-death and get a chance to pick people off, only equipped with a pistol and unbridled spite. The Ultimate Edition Deluxe Game of the Year Collector's is the exact same, with the handgun being substituted for a shotty. Now, on paper, this sounds like quite a deadly replacement. In practice, your shells only reach about 30 centimeters in front of your face. I've become a wall! So if you're in the mood to sit on the floor like a fucking melon, awaiting your inevitable demise, add this one to the loadout. It was mildly handy on maps and in areas that were the size of a corner shop, but the most fun I managed to squeeze out of it was blind firing into the sky and pretending I was dying in an action movie. The RPG was sneakily replaced by the AT4. Despite still having RPG rockets as the icon, there can be an AT4 one found lingering in the base game's files, because this was originally planned to be an official perk, and it showed up in the sequel as a secondary weapon. It also makes an appearance in the single-player campaign. Kind of. And it worked in this server exactly how you'd expect.
Really?
It fires rockets quite quickly and accurately, in contrast to the RPG. Pairing this with the increased jump height from the mod, I found myself cosplaying as a one-man AC-130. I concluded that this was rather effective, with the biggest drawback of the Act 4 being that you're also susceptible to ragdolling yourself. Not that bot players give a shit. The killstreaks also initially seemed to be fairly sensible, with the UAV recon being earned at 4 kills instead of 3, and the airstrike at 7 instead of 5. Nothing too out of the ordinary. You place a marker down after accidentally walking into a smoking area, take yourself out, and then watch planes flying across the plane. That is, until an alien player uses one, in which case... And yeah, I can't lie, that's a pretty satisfying replacement. Not sure if it's any different functionally. Don't really care. Oh, just look at what it looks like on the minimap. That's a Beyblading aeroplane. At 12 kills, you have earned. You've earned what? At 12 kills, you earn invisibility, which I found intriguing because it's not a variant or a small change, it's an entirely unique kill streak, which shows all enemies on the radar, and presumably, well, turns you invisible. I have no idea how this looked from an outsider perspective, whether you're actually completely invisible or an amorphous outline like many games employ. Cortana, requesting backup. I've been encased in some sort of glue-like substance. But I do think it worked, considering I got away with watching enemies walk past me and dinking them in the back of the head, mass fragging directly into the line of sight without a shot being fired at me, and lobbing a smoke grenade point blank into this fella's shoulder without any suspicion. Eventually I fell out of the map before being told Killy Sunt is no longer invisible. Yeah. I don't know about that one. I have a feeling nobody's seeing me down here. When I reached an 18 kill streak, I received the Ion Cannon. What? This involves a blurple-coloured beam descending from the sky, obliterating anyone within its blast radius. When I say obliterating anyone, that does include myself. Not much to say here. It was gratifying getting a large multi-kill almost every single time I used it, and watching the shockwave ripple across the map's entire width from the comfort of my own kill cams. There was one more category of utility tucked away in the armory of this server. The eagle-eyed may have been asking themselves, why are random phrases plastered into the corner of your gameplay footage? These are abilities. The problem was that I spent most of my playtime having no idea that's what they were or how to use them. It wasn't until I discovered a comment on a crusty video uploaded 15 years ago that I realised that you've got to hit the B key. Not what I tried, which was plugging in a controller and hammering the B button. The wall's not working. Imagine a hero shooter, where instead of the outcome of a match revolving around who presses the ult key first, you get laughed out of the room because they're all fucking useless. Fog of War. This left behind an ink black cloud with the soundscape of a lonely breeze. I can see this being used as an alternative to the smoke grenade, but unless you're a character in Lost, I don't think you have much to worry about.
You can use Fog of War again.
Scare enemy. Your ears don't deceive you. It played a stock MP3 sound effect of a man screaming. That's it. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to achieve. You could just...
Oh, I'm scaring you.
Call of Duty 4.
Psychological
Warfare.
jetpack. When you activate this, and I quote, you are flying a jetpack. Very straightforward. I got to graciously float around for roughly 5 seconds before being shot dead. Do you reckon that the crimson red fumes excreting from the players behind has something to do with that? Might want to consult a doctor for that colorectal problem. Honestly, I'm not sure if the jetpack would be useful in this server in the first place, considering you can already leap 20 feet in the air. There's a third person toggle, which is more of a general option than a practical ability, especially since it made being plopped on the floor in Ultimate Last Stand even more difficult. I did enjoy watching myself sprint and appreciated the animation. Look at him go, look at him go, he's ready for action, oh. After reaching level 100, I was given access to a couple of extra abilities. Bomb. I'll just let you watch my experience using this. Oh dear. Turret. Did what I thought. You place one down, it does its thing. Oh. And expires after a period of time. The amount of hit markers being thrown on screen. MLG montage parody. Most of the maps I encountered were from the standard roster, with the exceptions being remakes from the other COD games. There is one map that I stumbled upon in my time with the Alien server that I would like to hone in on for a brief moment.
Legend Gaming Clan presents Fart House.
Genuinely, this is a style of map that I'm quite fond of. A straightforward, relatable environment with everyday scenery, completely overblown in scale, making your perspective that of something much smaller, like a rat?
Wait. No.
I stumbled on these all the time in source game servers back in the day. And even though there's an official take on this in World War II, it's just interesting to see in a COD game. Reminds me of Army Men, Toy Story, Small Soldiers, so on and so forth. I think Fart House is more of an apartment. It's got a living room, kitchen, bath, computer area. Just an average guy with 30 unlabeled folders on the desktop in one combined space. There's a huge laptop, burner phone, a skyscraper-sized fridge, all the type of ingredients I like to see in these maps. I approached a gentle giant, laying atop his bed with his arms positioned ready for a cuddle, only to realise upon closer inspection that he head-butted an axe, sat on a toilet, prepared to donate some airdropped reinforcements, suddenly interrupted by the sound of Beavis and Butthead trapped in the water tank. Something that piqued my interest with this map was some of the unconventional transportation methods.
They don't call it Fart House for nothing.
Scattered around the place are springs that, unlike Sonic the Hedgehog, don't just bounce you upwards, they rip a fat one and fling you across the level. Why break the sound barrier when you can break wind? Whoa. There was a monorail that I stumbled on, which I haven't seen in a COD4 map before. Accidentally tried to grind on it and was promptly electrocuted to death. If only there was some insulation on my feet. But a xenomorph wearing shoes? That's just such a silly concept. Why would that ever happen? The last mode of transport was improv. I found myself positioned above one of the UFO airstrikes and figured, yeah, I can jump on that like it's a surfboard. Whoa! Whoa! And that's about it. I got a little bit carried away with the Aliens mod server. Oh! But I did enjoy myself. Before moving on, enjoy a couple of the end of match animations. 2 FPS moment. Whoa! Look at the UFO. Yes, it is time to glance at cooperative zombies-esque modes. Once again, this is a Call of Duty staple from the future, which fans decided to try and squash back into this one, so expect some of that homemade flavour. Looks like I'm wanking off a ghost. The first server I joined took place on an appropriately themed map for the zombie apocalypse occasion. Levitating pizza. Well, this match wasn't messing around, because on wave 1, within a blink of an eye... Excuse me! What do you want? General Ram sprinted up to me, flailing his arms, and I got clobbered into a pile of mush. Now, from the Gears of War lore, I assumed that the Locust's habitat was deep beneath the planet's crust. You know? Not on top of a deep pan one. Be welcomed to the obligatory Simpsons custom map, made by Jerkin. Just like all of our long-lost brothers and sisters. There were different classes with abilities, but I just glanced past it and went right into a... Seemed to have my hands on a rapid-fire G3. It's supposed to fire at this rate, but I remember that people on console used to use modded controllers to do this, but it's just a feature here. I tried to keep it interesting by picking up a new weapon from this stiff-armed gentleman. A floating M16. Don't mind if I do. The staple default gun in this game. Whacked a couple claymores down for another. A gentle round-bellied soul, impaled by a tinny. May he rest in peace. I bought the second weapon while desperately trying to dodge attacks. An automatic deagle. Pretty sick. I ignored this small detail because I was enamored by the rapid-fire Desert Eagle. So I was left confused and wondering what the hell was going on while I started taking random damage. The human race became extinct. My bad. If it's not already obvious yet, I was haphazardly joining zombie servers purely based on the name of the maps. Take MP for NERP, RE4 Village, for example. Resident Evil 4. I know that game. I know it. I know that. I've played that one.
Why don't you do us all a favor and leave before the audience gets pissed off?
Survival hint. Where is it? Anyway, I beelined into a shack and quickly got my hands on a golden deagle with a sniper scope. Yeah, that's pretty resi-coded. I don't know if your memory's rusty, but Resident Evil 4 actually featured Leon Kennedy taking on an army of tracksuit-wearing Eastern European clones. Missed a couple shots, but that doesn't really matter. You want to conserve ammo in these survival horror games. You gotta conserve... 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 Oh, fuck it. As somewhat of a biohazard connoisseur myself, I recognize this ladder as a potential vantage point. I can't get up it. This would have never happened if there was yellow paint. Daft little extra thing here, but this is the only server I've ever seen in this game that includes a now playing pop-up box for the music. Pretty banging, actually. Pac-Man. Another map that came from Jerkin. The COD4 community's got to put the tissues down, man. What? It's Pac-Man. I'll give him that. Jerkin put the work in. There's a little piece of art on the ceiling of Pac-Man up there. That's nice. I tried to squeeze a brain cell into choosing a class this time, and I went with Armored because infinite armor was mentioned. I figured that would come in handy. There was also a bonus on light machine guns, but a damage penalty on submachine guns, snipers, and pistols. Okay, what we working with? I've got a submachine gun. It's not a great start. And a pistol. No sweat. We can always consult the floating laptop. A ray gun? Do I have enough? Oh my god, I do, guys. The ray gun in COD4. Yeah, this works. In case you're wondering, the Pac-Man ghosts are completely stiff. Look, what I mean is they don't move. There are more realistic concerns out there than the paranormal. Ugh. That's a standing dog.
Thousands of animals suffer every year through cruelty and ignorance.
I placed some turrets. I placed some claymores. And for some reason I thought being trapped in a maze would work to my advantage because I could see enemies through windows. That's okay. We can see them coming. Okay, I'm gonna die. Balls. It did not work to my advantage. To be fair, this is the only zombie server I'd played where I was given a bring me back to life option. Holy shit. I'm really bright. Oh my god, okay, the turrets are broken. Anyway, it took about 10 seconds into the next round to just die again. I've been Pac-Man'd. Smurfs. Tiny tractor. Can I come in? The situation's pretty simple. Defend the Smurfs village from the undead, and from those that think it's appropriate to take a jog on a stranger's roof. Every denizen of this village has their own tractor. You know, the job market's a little bit narrow if you're only 30 centimeters tall. To the average human, this is just a filing cabinet. To a Smurf, it's an explosives manufacturing warehouse. Weapons can also be found inside of a grandfather clock. Oh yeah! Error! What's this? That's the F2000. Whoa! Does the trick. It's another COD entries, just not usually in this one. Helped clear out some roof squatters, but it didn't stick with me for the whole game. Oh no, I've lost my assault rifle. Inherited a sniper off Granddad! As well as glaucoma, apparently. What's happening? No night vision? Okay. Gonna have to quick scope during this. Oh my god, nice. You know, being stuck with the sniper in pitch black darkness with nothing to illuminate the targets other than their own hungry eyes is probably the most genuinely scary time I've had with this mode, at least in COD4. Oh dear. I really was just taking a gamble and hoping that I'd spot some movement within the void while I was aiming down the sights. Getting all scoped. The skill's coming out, guys. It's coming out. I'll say as I miss a shot. Oh! Get out. No, 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 no. No! Not only have I previously ended the human race, I'm now responsible for dooming all of Smurf kind. Alright, anyway, I found a Mario map. There wasn't much that went on here. Wahoo! It did the blinkety blinks. The mini-map was Mario. The novelty of quirky maps wore off a bit. Bridge. I'd say that's about as straightforward as it gets. I went with Scout, whose passive ability is, scouting. The confusing thing here is that this is in English. Everything else wasn't. Got no puntos. Well, that sucks. What about this one? TNT. Oh. Hello, Gumled. Have a TNT. I killed him directly. Oh. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm pretty much just showing this match thanks to that part, because there wasn't much match outside of it to show. It was a little bit intense. Oh my god. This is the first wave. I survived wave 1, at least. Oh god. Oh no. I joined a game on an unassuming skate park based map and... oh my god. A survivor. Instantly greeted by Fluffy Nuts. He seemed like a pretty friendly fella. Jumping into an occupied match meant I was already 9 waves deep. It's Dominoes! I was forewarned that Fluffy didn't have long and would watch from afar. In the meantime, I watched his 6 while he bought himself a Twix. We had a pretty good little cooperative zombies experience together. Revived each other, covered each other, had some fun. I was left alone just in time for the turrets to malfunction. I tried to hold my ground regardless. Cheeky, cheeky. The 7 to kill. Grenades out, motherfuckers. Hey, hey. But ultimately, I ended up with my cheeks planted on the floor. Fluffy had already left the server by now, but something he mentioned earlier that it didn't show was still on my mind. Wave 13 is boss, so shoot, grenades, kill. What do you mean there's a boss? Right, I've got a strategy. I'm going to join a server that actually has people in it. Would it surprise you to discover that an effective way of playing the cooperative mode is by playing it in cooperative? Honestly, I was taken aback and a little bit impressed by how many people ended up in some of these. It was more than a lot of the TDM and gun game servers I joined. There wasn't always an occupied game. I had to check the browser throughout different times of the day, but I would usually find one at some point, usually towards night time. A lot of these would end with GGs and everyone scattering to bed, rather than continuing for multiple matches. Surviving more waves alongside my newly found companions naturally meant that I got to experience more of the mod. 1 ray gun and 2,000 heart palpitations, please. I actually used some of the obstacle items that were on sale and found some of them for free by unwrapping gift boxes that sporadically appeared on the map. Explosive barrels.
Sentry going up.
Spiky floor thing that'll hurt a zombie's toes. I got to see and use a pretty large array of different weapons. Machete. Barbed wire baseball bat. Fnerp. A protection drone that'll fly about and follow you and give you a bunch of hit markers. Tesla coil. Pretty similar, where you're gonna get spammed with hit markers. It'll give the zombies a little bit of a static shock if they walk near it. Spray. Well, it's a limited special. It must be good. I'm gonna spray down bullets on those zombies like they'd not believe. Hell yeah. Of course, I'm not forgetting guns. Lots of guns, lots of upgrades, mostly stuff you'd expect to see from different Call of Duty games.
Wow, it's green.
Rapid fire FAL. AK-47, it shoots a little bit faster. The ACR sounded beefy as fuck. A worthy final upgrade. I was sniping. Went through a couple of cool submachine guns when I played as the assassin. This guy even gifted me some points so I could get the ARCs 160. Cheers, dude. But I rolled through quite a lot of them and the progression of them seemed to be specific to each class. Something else that's class specific? The specials. The medic's healing aura ended up saving the team multiple times through different games, and I managed to use the scouts. Run away! The zombies! Ability. I also noticed some quirks tied to particular maps. There was an ambulance on Nuketown that'd heal you if you were stood next to it. MP_serve_gob_aim had a severe lack of gravity. Boing! And you could rebuild obstacles. I even got second place repairer. I built them barrels up real good. Zombies. There were different types of zombies through different waves. I saw beheaded zombies. Headless shot. Hell dogs. Big dad zombies. They have a lot of health. Scary zombies. Most of the clips where you can't fucking see anything, it's because of these guys, I think. Speaking of not seeing anything, ghosts. Call of Duty ghosts. Grouped zombies was different types of zombies rather than a gang of them together. Resurrecting zombies. I mean, yeah, they just come back. And back. And back. Crawlers. Hell zombies. They'd like rain down from a flare on the map. So after all of these different zombies and waves defeated, what was the boss like? I don't know. I didn't see one. Sorry to shit on cardboard and tell you that it's a Pop-Tart, but that's just not what we were presented with upon each final wave. It was this. You feel safe, huh? There's one little thing. You ask yourself what it would be. Well, it's not over yet. Separating the pussies from the pros. Now you're frozen. But what if zombies spawn suddenly? No, not zombies. In the zombies game type. Oh great, finished the map. Nope. Looks like you're doomed. Let the vision change. Hardcore spawning activated. Afraid of what's happening? I would be too. Where did the outro go? What's up with my Kapora 1D3A3 equals 7%. Keyboard fixed. Okay, now to you guys. I don't like to see you win. My last attempt on defeating you. Call the Horde in order to spawn right in front of you. Booyah! You haven't seen all the waves yet.
Oh, I see you are surprised. Let me see what I have here. Oh, this looks bad enough for you. Angry face. It's multi-kill time. Be prepared to see things popping up in front of you. Prepare for the great finale. Which was exactly as advertised. Zombies spawned right in front of me and the rest of the team. Not dissimilar from every other wave, with anywhere between 500 and sometimes almost 1,000 enemies to get rid of. Every type of zombie we've laid eyes on, with big dad ones sprinkled in the middle. We were huddled up like penguins in a corner, or behind cover, blasting away. I was placing barrels. I was throwing ammo on the floor, lobbing grenades. Lobbing grenades. Lobbing grenades. And C4. In one of the matches, I was downed trying to revive someone. The team paid to revive ourselves, and then I was downed trying to revive someone. After all that, we were greeted with, all waves have been held off. No boss in sight. So I perused YouTube and found some evidence of Bigfoot. Really Bigfoot. He's inside of the stairs. You have to chuck explosives at him and then shank him. All waves have been held off. Well, that's enough zombies for one day, isn't it? Isn't it? Outpost -3A9B415E. What's the worst that can happen? It takes place on MP_shaft. I have to check it out. And check it out, I did. I immediately knew it was something different, because it had the regular creator class, with the exception of mines. Omelette. This server was jam-packed full of bots, with a player at the start being randomly chosen as a zombie, and then attempting to infect the other players to join them. This is just a group of people bullying one guy. If you've played this sort of thing before, you know exactly what it is.
Infected.
This went on for a while with the room just picking on this fella. I got him a few times myself. He's risen from the floor. He's left a grave. Rest in peace, Noob Slayer. Until eventually the players thinned further and further out and... oh, bollocks. Organs for a snack. I don't think that qualifies as respect. This is where I realised that there were multiple zombie classes. I chose electric and slipped down a mysterious slide. Oh, that's where everyone went. Fire. It looked like I had a giant chupa chup poking out my mouth. With the bots in the chat doing some osteoporosis RP, I chucked a couple of orbs, slashed a couple of slashes, and died a toasty death. Ice. Cold. Calculated. Rabid dog. A taste for treats. And flesh. Fast. But I'm hungry. I don't want to fast. I threw a skull at this guy. Not sure what I achieved. I just ran off and thought about it. Then I got sniped. Poison. Normal. With the special ability, fart. Something transcends any sort of class. Communication. I was just fiddling about with the quick command options and I don't know, I thought it would be fun to send a little quick message to the bots. I instructed the entire server of bots to fart on the enemies. And you know what? It fucking worked. We propelled ourselves with flatulence and slayed all of those humans with only Soap remaining as the last man. Does that mean this is canon to COD4? Who knows? Victory! Everyone is a zombie. On that, I think we can lay this category to rest. City is a place located within country, and this match was located within Alcatraz, or a map based on a movie based on Alcatraz, starring Sean Connery, not Dwayne Johnson, as the name may suggest. The map was created in 2008, but was originally made for COD. Yeah, the first one. It's a bit weird hearing that without the subsequent numbers, letters, or plus chips. Designed and tested by the MTL clan, this server was running it alongside the Open Warfare mod. Upon entry, a choice presented itself. City Moscow or City Washington. I decided to sit on the fence during this conflict by using the auto-assign button. The commandments laid before me. Not on ancient scripture, but in a pop-up box. Don't spam. Don't insult other players. Don't spawn kill. Glitches is off. Play clear or will be banned. Now play clear! Somehow I don't think that's going to be a problem. What was clear was that this time we had a healthy mix of bots and human players. I ended up having a fairly straightforward Call of Duty experience. Came across a fella who I shottied only to be promptly sniped by the exact same person. I then walked in on him performing some sort of mating ritual. I have a suspicion that this one might be a bot. Two individuals who were bravely perched in and on towers picked me off from above and behind a window. I have a suspicion that they might be human. No, don't do it! I can do it for you. I caught a glimpse of some extra features, but before I knew it, the match was over, so I decided to stick around for another game to explore that little menu that I got a whiff of, not before witnessing the last winning kill cam. On to the second match, which took place in Agroprom, a map based on the identically named area in Stockare. Those extra features I mentioned weren't made a secret when I joined this time. You can access them by double tapping night vision.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Join and stay. A little bit cult-like, but I did end up spending almost the entire match trying to tinker about with these settings. The first option I tried was entering Prestige. Funnily enough, this requires the requirements required to Prestige. Ah, well, that's alright, because you can always unlocks 55 level. I'm not sure about the mathematics here. It did also go up to level 39, so maybe it goes up in small increments. Of what? I have no idea. The numbers, Mason. What the fuck do they mean? I then discovered film tweaks. Contrast slider maximum. I truly felt like the Matrix. Letterbox this with 5 stars immediately. This is certified cinema. I can't even comprehend the mind behind such genius. So, Infinity Ward, what engine did you utilize to craft this classic entry of Call of Duty?
Technology.
Could you be more specific?
A 2x scope or a 4x scope or 6x scope.
Interesting. Is there a reason you decided to use film cameras to try and make the game?
The depth.
Was anything else used in the process?
Silencers, laser targeters, iron lungs, all of the components.
Deserved. I began having visions. I can't see into the future or anything, it's just more camera foolery. These seem to be like Instagram filters that you can use in-game. Normal vision on. Yeah, maybe if you've got x-ray machines for eyes. It's thermal, it looks inverted, there's not much to say. Here's a nice view of some grass. I selected the second option on the list. Not that you can see what that is because the text decided to activate stealth mode. Simply turn night vision on and off to access the options and switch on... night vision. I suppose there's a more pure, concentrated green. I don't know if you've noticed, but the audio sounds like I shoved an auxiliary cable up my arsehole. I thought this might be the recording software, but I think it is actually just the map, and that they went for the authentic Chernobyl experience. I've hacked into the mainframe. What the fuck am I looking at? It's a good thing I accidentally stumbled onto English, isn't it? Or I might have been speaking human resources, Donkey Kong, grr, no, or pronoun. Chronology went out of the window with the options being invisible, but I ended up on Aftermath Vision. Perfect for the post-apocalyptic theme, and abysmal for multiplayer visibility. It's ironic that they're called visions when I can't fucking see anything. This includes the menu itself. I have no goddamn idea what I'm trying to access here. Cobra Sun. I actually quite like this one. The map and players are distinguishable enough, and it's a calm evening blue. Why is he talking to a wall? Sniper glow vision on. I actually have no clue what the visual effect is supposed to be. Maybe there's a glint when someone tries to snipe you. I didn't see it, but I brought a Barrett for the occasion. Grayscale. It's great. Cargo blast. Explosive vision on. It's less exciting than it sounds. There's no destructive eyeball beams involved, so the only thing I'm blasting in my cargo's There's disappointment. The perspective of a sentient tangerine. Jesse, you put the Mexico filter on Call of Duty. It reminds me a little bit of Haze on the PS3. The Halo killer. I struggled to mess with anything else, and then once again... So, Tiger Town V2, originally an official multiplayer map for Call of Duty. 1, this is a fan-made conversion. Thank you, Pow. He got a little bit Mike Wazowski'd there. I wasted no time and dialed right into the final vision. Sepia. I think someone just misspelled sepia. After failing to switch the game rules and become an admin so that I could download Crazy Frog wallpapers for my Nokia, I had a complete and utter briefcase malfunction. My brick phone got malware or something. No amount of night visioning could pull me out of this. At this point, I just gave up on the game tweaks and played the rest of the match ordinarily. I clued up pretty swiftly that this window is a death sentence. The window fitter must have thought, double glazing's not good enough. I'll chuck in some built-in bullet magnets. Doinked this lad right in the noggin, and while running off I decided, I'm not done here, and blasted someone else through the wall as well. I had to double take that during editing. Here's where I spotted him, and we made brief, awkward eye contact. Hello. Don't worry, I was no exception to this rule myself. Stay quiet, Soap. I'm on a stealth mission. I feel sorry for Pecora here. Sideswiped him into the morgue, circled around like a lost puppy, and then took him out again. You know, some players just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, who's that near the window? Somehow managed to bag myself a chopper in the middle of all this, and just had a good time playing alongside some real human beings. I'll tactically ignore that one. Oh! The one tap! Woohoo! ESL, call me now. Couple of back shots, couple of front shots, and that was that. Round-winning kill cam, this one belonging to myself, because I won. GG's in the chat. Where do we go from here? I've peaked in both gaming skill and photography filter selection. I see no reason to I can't lie. The inner man-child's bricked up. I couldn't quite leave just yet when this server's map rotation's taken me from Military Prison Island to Lego Island to
Okay, let's get started.
Uploaded by some stud named Stendby in 2014, who seems to still be tinkering with COD4 these days. The layout, Minotaur's wet dream. A tightly cornered Lego labyrinth, decked out with bricks and not so minifigures.
Face sold separately.
You alright there, mate? What's alright? Your head appears to be attached to your shoulder. I feel like they might have misread the instructions on this one. Lurking around almost every corner was someone waiting to be unbuilt. Weapon of choice? Cutlery.
Perfect place to practice table manners.
Oh. Didn't always go smoothly. This guy ducked under my swipe like he was in a boxing match, and I'm not sure what's happening here. It looks like I was trying to give him a haircut.
Soap, activate the short back and sides.
Unsurprisingly, the shotgun seemed quite effective in this short-sighted maze of confinement. Rocket launchers? Not so much. Oh, the briefcase decided to cooperate again, and despite not being leveled enough to change my emblem, I managed to get into a menu that lets you submit your own custom one. On-screen RGB sliders are controlled by stab in the air or chucking grenades. I can only imagine how this must look to outsiders. A lonely lunatic, stood in spawn, playing Fruit Ninja within the confines of his mind. Joke's on them, because you create design. The briefcase decided to not cooperate again. Oh, fuck it. I observed an obsession. This little tucked away area. It wouldn't be a Call of Duty map if players weren't addicted to camping within a crevice. However, hordes of different players were either sat there or approaching to get that sweet fix. I reckon they've got a problem with bricks, and I don't mean these little plastic ones. There were some other interesting landmarks as well, like this wall that someone managed to get on top of. How did this match go? Where did I place? I hear none of you ask. Well, right. Well, what now? President, a second city server has struck the browser. The World War II mod. I can't fault this sort of dedication. Despite the option to play any of the installments surrounding it, some nutcase decided to modify the first game in the series to escape the setting of the Second World War and drag it right back to Normandy. While this match didn't take place on a beach, it transpired across another historic landmark, Favela, the map from Modern Warfare 2.
Great Scott!
13 long years ago, tyrannical overlord Infinity Ward struck down the favela from Modern Warfare 2 to remove a painting placed above a toilet, only to forget to patch the map back into the PC version. Thanks! Most of the weapons you'd expect to see were present. Only oddities I spotted being iron sight as an attachment and a couple of perk additions. Medic and Scavenger, which wasn't added until MW2. I nabbed myself a few kills with the Type 100, a cheeky little submachine gun that's in World at War, as well as the STG. There's an equivalent to this in vanilla COD4, but I think this version's from WoW. Get off the floor, man. My favourite kill, however, entirely gunless. What? A direct hit with a grenade. No cooking, no explosion, just baseball pitched him into extinction. Upon further inspection, there can be a soldier seen with his ankles merged within the cement of a brick wall. Did him a kindness, really. I wasn't without my own ailments, mind. My shirt, it's a little bit erect. I'm not gonna let a sleeve stiffy stop me. I do appreciate that for the airstrike you whack out the jumbo-sized walking-talking, and the night vision-induced options make a return. Except they didn't have top-of-the-line technology like Nokia 3310s back then. They had to make do with twizzling a cube of TNT.
Hello? Ah, yes, darling. I'd like to order a pepperoni pig.
The match came to a close, and I stayed for one more city outing. Destination: Bagheera, a map that I didn't have much to say about until I perused the README file, revealing that it's dedicated to the creator's deceased cat. I won't go too deep into it out of respect, but rest in peace to the little fella. Things kicked off by downing a couple of chaps with the Sten, the Type 100's British Ozempic'd cousin, and it didn't take very long to earn a radar.
Our recon plane behind them.
Or an airstrike. A human swiftly swapped out to the double barrel for some sweet revenge on the sniper. Definitely not a bot Derek out here jumping into a door frame. And I like this weapon. I saw him on the minimap, I swear. This is where my fun came to a close. The noises began. The STG firing from what sounded like every perceivable direction, loud and up close. As if I was the one firing it. What the fuck? Again, paranoid, flinching, distracted. I even let bloody Veronica get me, replied with a cheeky little snipe, but before long, it returned. The dreaded STG sound effects. I was spared. This time, I was hit and took refuge on the upper floor of a decimated building. Took aim, steady, steady. He stole it! I did what any grizzled war veteran would. A 180 drop shot no-scope. Spotted muzzle flash from the window frame. It was him. Absolutely botched 2 shots and then... Got him? Not only is he human, he's a really nice guy. Complimenting the marksmanship that ended him. Who's he think he is? Just for that. I'll get you again. The psychological torment of the Sturmgewehr's rattle continued to brown my trousers, suspicious of every corner.
I know it was fucking one of yous.
This time, I caught him in the act. A smiley face at a time like this. Look, once again, before I knew it, another win. Probably because half the players were programmed to walk into walls. You can't sleep there, mate. We exchanged multiple letter G's, good game Arno, and fun map Dogface. Moving on. Alright, I should probably wrap this up. There's a couple more interesting servers and modes I came across, but first, a clip of a match on another remake of a COD1 map. Everything seemed fairly plain until I saw the kill cam feature in action. Oh, whoa. GoPro grenade. I played a sprinkle of freeze tag, a commonly hosted custom mode where instead of dying, you're encased in a blob of gelatin. Oh shit. Alright, mate. Come here often. Oh, where'd he go? Two teams face off. Santa versus Santa. This grotto ain't big enough for the both of us. Nothing too crazy in this match outside a couple of little things. What the fuck was that reload? Headshot! There was another match of this game mode that I tried to play until I heard a voice from down under.
Hey, see you later, mate.
Alright, I guess. See you later, mate. I think OBS game capture caused this and I swapped to desktop record after without any problems. But why even bother playing this when I could be playing Call of Duty 4 Modern Paintball? It doesn't take a genius to figure this one out. It's just Call of Duty 4 with a fresh coat of paint. Paintball-themed weapons, paintball-themed smoke grenades, clown farts, paintball-themed paint. I had a couple of games in here across different maps. Kill House. I don't know what this one is. Nuketown 2025. Yes, just me and my wife at the table while my wife is also looking at the letters. Shipment. And of course, Shipment. With frosting on top. To be fair, this isn't just a texture job. They've expanded the outskirts a little bit so you can peer over walls like a scumbag meerkat. Two teams face off. Food poisoning versus vaguely phallic blob. These special force units employ a variety of weapons to broad stroke one another. We've got the A4, Spider Extra, 1455, TAC 5, A5, X7, 98 custom. I'm not digging into every individual one, but I mucked about with the equivalents to assault rifles. Check out the bullet drop on this. Or pellet drop, I guess. It's a neat detail. Some of the submachine guns and assault rifles overlap and appear in both categories. The best thing about them are the reload sounds. Slurping the bottom of a Mackey's milkshake. That isn't even the best audio addition in the mod. I gotta give that to the stellar voice acting. Wait, is that people in the... Is that bots in the game going, I'm hit? He's hit. He's hit.
Best performance.
And the game award goes to...
There is a sidearm. A sidearm. One. That's the same pistol. And nothing. The sniper. I thought it was the typical one-shot affair until I noticed that it pisses out pellets like it's had 10 too many beers. MLG Tour Scope. The shotgun is creatively called Shotgun. I think it's a remodeled M1014. I got a couple kills with it. It was pretty decent. Grenades take the phrase splash damage verbatim and splodge anyone near them. Most of my kills ended up being direct hits. Oh. No cooking necessary. Ready meal grenades. I've got paint grenades. Ow. I killed myself. I've been dying to show you guys all of the light machine guns. Oh, yeah, there's a grenade launcher and also a chunky rocket launcher, which you reload with your wrist. Oh. He's just got a fucking rocket launcher. The mod eschews violence by tagging opponents instead of killing them, replacing blood with Dulux, and scrapping the knife, which sounds quite pacifist. Pacifist through their heads. I knifed him. It's a punch.
Target neutralized.
Couple other things that don't feel like they fit into a casual game of paintball. C4. Wait, that's not very paintball-like. Oh, God. I got someone's claymore. It serves them right. Oh! Airstrikes appear to be unchanged. Those are just real explosions. I don't think this falls in line with the Paintball Geneva Convention. The final server. Speedrun. Too quick to be seen by the naked eye. SAS team, roll out. Nighthawk. Roof tile. Lara Croft. If it isn't obvious from the wireframes, colour scheme or name, this was pretty much Counter-Strike Surf. As a race, a dash to slide across and bounce on various geometry. Surf has always been a game mode that I've been absolute cheeks at. Here's how it's meant to be done. Oh, there it is. There it is. This guy knows what he's doing. He's... Never mind. Fortunately, I wasn't the only one struggling with this jump. Oh, hello. A fellow prisoner. A large amount of my time was spent trapped within the pit of shame. But you know, we don't all have access to fancy tools, like... This dude's just rocket jumping. He's got a Quake rocket launcher. You flew in from the wrong game. A fucking portal gun. Are you taking the piss? I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't foresee myself staying in this server for longer than a couple more minutes, but there was a curious countdown, so I decided to stick it out, expecting some sort of reset on the obstacle course or the timer. No. I was in here for an hour. Pretty simple minigame, jump to the colour that corresponds with the floating televisions. May have forgot to take into account the, yeah, that. I stood pretty confidently on the wrong colour in round 2. Sorry guys, let me tab into this this other game for a second. Yeah, anyway, you're meant to hop over the giant, deadly contraptionatron, though it might just switch gears to reverse and obliterate everyone, like it did here. Round 3. The miraculous happened. Ignore that small fumble. I survived a colour. 2 even. Then I overshot a jump and got swept. Look, I might have died, but at least I'm not afflicted with invisibilititis. He knew too much. Round 4. I actually made a valiant effort. I almost got sweeped, and I still held it down for a little bit. Eventually, I took a jump at just the wrong moment. Well, bare hands. He's actually got the right idea. Everyone else is hulking about while hopping up and down. Round 5. 5 colours. Another solid attempt. Probably my best crack at it throughout the whole minigame, to be honest. I put my sweat in. And the blood and tears. What? Round 2. Sonic the Hedgehog. I think you get the picture here. I jumped up and down. And up and down. And up and down. 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 That was that. I landed myself in 9th place with a grand total of 0 points. Brilliant. Well, at least we can get back to, you know, the point of the server. That speedrunning surf stuff. I can practice that a little bit, can't I? No, I can't. You could say there's an obstacle. You avoid obstacles by jumping, crouching, or going prone, which is a bit vague, so to describe it easily, it's that one human Tetris brain wall Japanese game show. Safe to say I didn't last very long in the first few rounds. There were a couple of things that distracted me during this one. I grinded on it. Took it for a ride. I actually felt like I was getting the hang of it by round 5. I didn't do too bad. Made it past a few waves. That doesn't mean I'm any good at it. No. Yeah, tell me about it. I also want to point out just how quick this gets by the time some of the other players died. It's impressive. Like, top tier dukes, man. Respect. Got to the point where some of the lads were accusing each other of cheating. Round 6 has got to be it then, right? This has got to be the attempt where I get quite far. I once again bagged 0 points. Not technically last though, I did better than a German car company, at least. Mover? I barely even know her. It's pretty simple. Dodge obstacles on the moving platform by jumping or crouching. My legs! Not before appreciating the gallery that surrounds you. Yeah, you ride a platform and dodge a bunch of incoming red rectangles. And of course it accelerates every time you survive a wave. Look at this shit, man. They're nuts. I didn't even play round 2. I ended up perusing the customization menu. There are lots of stuff. Pretty cool shit. At round 4, I finally discovered the spray keybind for myself. Behold, my masterpiece. It's a Banksy. That's a Banksy. Look, I know I've been bringing up Source games a lot, but I can't help but feel like I'm slap bang in the middle of Gmod with all these ridiculous modes, custom play models and sprays coating the walls. He phased through it. Yeah, he did. What happened? Round 6, I actually made it through an entire wave. Like before, it's only one. You know what it is. 9th place, 0 points. But 3 events a charm, right? We can finally go back to the lobby and practice those speedrunning skills. I mean, kind of. Speedrun, the server's namesake, involved utilizing COD4's movement mechanics to race through an apparently randomized course. As you'd probably expect, I continuously failed to pull off the first bounce. That is, until I executed this very subtle zigzag. Woo! If you're not aware, the engine that COD4 runs on is a modified version of Quake 3's, so some of the movement from that slips through and allows people to, well, do this. I tried the next section a couple of times until I was forced into spectator mode for being too slow. In round 2, repeated zigzagging failures, to the point of... I couldn't get any further than the first plank in round 3, filtered by a shelf. Very similar situation in round 4, I think, where I couldn't twizzle myself around this podium. Round 5, defeated by a fucking corner.
Stu, what are you doing?
Strafe jumping.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
I felt pretty flattered to receive some encouragement in round 6, but okay, here's a run from someone who actually knows what they're doing. Absolutely disgusting, greasy, filthy moves. Monkey Ball. Well, this description tells anyone unfamiliar with those games absolutely fuck all. Imagine one of these Ball in a Maze toys as a video game. Sprinkle a little bit of animal rights violations in there. And there you go.
CJ.
This event came complete with ice skating physics to try and replicate being a super monkey inside of a ball. See you later. No tilting of the stage here, but I appreciate the effort. Honestly, I was pretty confident about not falling into these death pits by round 2, all the way through to 6. I reckon if it wasn't a race and this was like a single player level for me to complete, I could have actually done this one, as opposed to a lot of the other minigames here. But alas, it is a race, so that means 9th place, 0 points. Finally, we've returned back to where we were at the beginning, and we can practice those... Yeah, actually, never mind. The server admin bid us farewell, and honestly, it seems like a pretty good place to say the same. As mentioned in the intro, COD4 itself isn't necessarily dead. TDM often has a few matches going. I got into a handful of populated zombie servers, and there's even still a modest pro mod community, with some ex-COD4 pros playing here and there. I tried it a bit on console too, and immediately received a message promoting someone's montage. Time's a flat circle, boys. I've been accused over the years of making dad jokes, but now, every joke I make is a dad joke. Because I am one. That's where I've been. I've also been making this video, streaming sporadically over on KillStreaks DLC, my second channel for bits and bobs and things, and I might even tinker around with streaming on this channel at some point, since Twitch deemed my username derogatory, forced me to change it, and then let other people use it anyway. Cheers, Tom Clancy. Sorry, the name Dan offends me. I haven't stopped corruptions or anything either. I've got most of the footage for the next one, and I have no plans on stopping that, even if I throw in other stuff like this in between. It's been a while, so I can't thank you all enough for the patience, including anyone that's thrown support my way, be that financial or just watching, commenting, all that stuff. I read most things people say, and it means a lot if any of my content cheers you up. Bravo, Dark. Going 6.
and you do a gun and let me your gun.